The Kenwood cooking chef is unlike anything you've ever seen before. It may look like a regular stand mixer, but this machine does the work of a stand mixer, a blender, and a food processor, all while cooking, steaming, and stirring your food during the cooking process. The Kenwood cooking chef has been a longtime favorite of cooks in the UK, and Williams-Sonoma is thrilled to be able to offer it. The Kenwood cooking chef comes with everything you see in front of me, along with a few other things that you'll see during the cooking process. It has the blender attachment, the food processor attachment, all of the blades that go with the food processor, the steamer basket, and these 5 attachments that are used with the bowl. As you can imagine, with this many attachments and all of these features, it would be impossible to show you everything that the Kenwood cooking chef can do. But today I'm going to make risotto, and you should get a pretty good idea of some of the neat features that make this machine so special. I've already prepped my ingredients, so let's get started. The first step is to finely chop the shallot. Now this machine has 4 power speed outlets. Now this is the highest speed over here, and this is for things like the blender attachment. Next, we have the medium speed, things like the food processing attachment. Here in the front, this is the attachment hub, the low speed for things like a pasta maker or a meat grinder. And then of course we have the bowl. So to chop the shallots, I'm going to use the food processor attachment, put in the knife blade, add our shallots, and then secure the lid. And then the food processor attachment clicks in right there on top. Now there are a couple of different ways that I could go about chopping the shallots. One is to use this power dial down here that goes from 1 to 6, but I like to use the pulse function. That is this button right here in the front marked with a P. By using the pulse function, I have better control over how finely chopped my shallots will be. Great, that looks perfect. Now that these are chopped, it's time to really show you how this machine shines. And that is to show off the cooking function. I'm going to use this lever to tilt the head up, and I'm going to add the heat shield. This slips right on, just like that. Next, I'm going to attach the high temperature flexible beater. Great. So now let's lower the head of the machine, and then I'll set my temperature. To heat the oil, we're going to set it to 285 degrees. Let's add that oil. I have some olive oil here. Now I need to select my stir speed, and the cooking chef has 3 different stir speeds indicated right here, 1, 2, and 3. 1 is for a constant stir. We'll use that a little bit later. 2 is for 2 revolutions every 5 seconds. That's what we're going to use right now. And number 3 is for a revolution every 30 seconds. So we'll select number 2, and you'll notice that these blue lights are flashing. This blue light here will continue to flash until the machine gets up to the proper temperature. In this case, 285 degrees. And that really shouldn't take much time at all because this machine relies on induction heating. With induction heating, there are no coils. It relies on magnetism to essentially turn this bowl into its own heating element. While that's heating up, I'm going to use one of the spatulas that comes with the cooking chef to scrape my shallots into a bowl. Now that the temperature has reached 285 degrees, you'll notice that the blue light is solid. I'm going to reduce it down to 200 degrees, add the shallots, and then cook them until they're soft. Listen to that sizzle. That is one hot bowl. Now that my shallots have softened, I'm going to add my rice. And then I'm going to attach the splash guard. I'm going to adjust my timer to 2 minutes, and then we'll add our next ingredients. Now that it's been 2 minutes, I'm going to add some white wine and let that absorb, and then we'll add our stock. If you don't set a time on your timer, you'll notice that it'll automatically start counting up. A good way to keep track of how long things have been cooking. The wine has been completely absorbed, so now it's time to add some vegetable stock. going to add most of it, but I will reserve a little bit, about a half a cup, in case at the very end of the cooking process, my risotto needs to be thin just a bit. And now I have a pinch of saffron. I'm going to adjust my speed of stir down to number 1 for a constant stir, and I'm going to set the timer to 15 minutes. And now I can walk away. Typically when you make risotto on the stovetop, you have to stand there and stir constantly. But with the cooking chef, I can just set my speed, set my timer, and then check in when it's finished. Let's take a look. Ooh, that looks perfect. I don't think we're going to need that extra stock. And we can now remove the splash guard. The cooking chef does come with this heat-proof mat. Let's get that ready. And I'm going to lift the head. Look at all that condensation. This machine got hot. And even though the handles of the bowl are coated, you do want to be careful when removing the bowl, because just like on the stovetop, it can get hot. And look at this gorgeous texture of our risotto. Beautiful. Nice golden color from the saffron. And look at this gorgeous risotto. Add a little Parmesan cheese. And when it comes time to clean up, the bowl and all the attachments can be hand washed, or they can go straight into the dishwasher. I've got to try some of this. It looks fantastic. That is perfect and so easy to make in the Kenwood Cooking Chef.